U.S. President Donald Trump arrives at the brand new NATO headquarters and is quick to criticize.
NATO members must finally contribute their fair share and meet their financial obligations. And I never asked once what the new NATO headquarters cost. I refuse to do that. But it is beautiful.
President Trump doesn't want to know the price tag because how NATO allies spend their money has been one of his consistent complaints. According to NATO, of the 28 members, only the U.S. and 4 others meet the alliance's defense spending targets. And while the president's persistence on this issue irks some European allies, NATO Secretary General agrees members must spend more, with terrorism being a worldwide threat.
Several NATO allies also expressed that we have to invest in defense not just to please the United States, but we have to invest in European defense because it is in our own interest to do so.
Thank you again for your visit, Mr. President.
Earlier, the president briefly met with the European Union's top brass. Handshakes and smiles were exchanged, but serious differences now exist between leaders of the U.S. and EU.
I am not 100% sure that we can say today, we means Mr. President and myself, that we have a common position, common opinion about Russia.
Because of President Trump's past praise of Vladimir Putin and his tough talk on migrants and minorities, protesters were out in mass when he arrived here in Brussels. But those who study the longtime bond between America and Europe say even the unconventional Trump presidency can't break that transatlantic tie.
There's a high degree of unpredictability here, for sure. There's a lot of the relationship, whether it's on business or security, that simply is there and is not going away, whoever is president.
So despite disagreements with some European leaders and disdain from some in the European public, strong ties with the U.S. are likely to continue. Some of the discussions President Trump had here in Brussels will follow him to his next stop, Sicily. He's wrapping up his foreign tour there for the G7 meeting. G7 leaders are sure to talk about relations with Russia and how his America First stance is reshaping U.S. foreign policy. Kevin Ozebek, CGTN, Brussels.